We want to go over what happened last time. Do you want me to do this, or do you want Kyle to do this?
God, no.
What? I was good!
Alright, Kyle, take it off.
I don't know anymore.
That's because you forgot.
No, I actually didn't, so there.
I'll tell you what you forgot.
That's fair. Alright, well. When we last
crap.
left our
These different controls.
stalwart heroes, they were up in the upstairs, talking to a little girl and trying not to die.
She was
How
nice.
about so far, Chelsea?
Right.
Cool, thanks, okay.
I didn't hear you.
I said, how am I so far, Chelsea?
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, well then, you don't get to complain. Anyways, so... After that, we went back downstairs and kind of split up to explore the rooms, and Tasserea went off on her own and who the heck is crunching?
It's not me.
Chelsea.
It's not me.
Chelsea.
I swear to God, I will slap you through the computer.
Alright, so Tasserea went off on her own and found one set of stairs, while the other group...
A set of stairs to nowhere, because they have no perception.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, I have decent perception, but anyways,
You didn't go down that door.
the other group consisting of Griffith, Cam, Ramsey, and I believe Hale, found another door and decided to go down and explore it and took out a bunch of zombies by almost surprise if it wasn't
There
for
were two. There were two.
Griffith's wonderful stealth attack.
How dare you? You're not wrong.
They also failed to notice a secret passage leading to a room which Tasserea had taken Meardin, and I believe that was where Jim was as well?
Yeah.
As they all stuck down and tried to perform a ritual to understand what language they were speaking, which luckily failed, if I remember correctly.
No, you did it.
Oh, I was able to understand it, I just wasn't able to hear what they were saying.
Yeah.
I couldn't
No,
make
you
it all
heard
out.
what
I
they
just
were
knew-
saying. You just
I heard
couldn't
parts of
speak
it.
back.
And you didn't know what the language was. You could just understand it because of the ritual.
That's a good ritual. Anyways, we stormed the room, found a couple of really bad things: a wraith and a cacodemon.
Cambion.
Cambion.
He was naked.
Mm-hmm.
After we killed it, we released the curse on this whole place. Yay! Which involved basically everyone that Chelsea was trying to save dying, anyways.
At least
Correction.
I was trying to save them.
I found a magic knife.
Started.
Right. Well,
Yes.
we found a magic knife and a magic orb,
Mm-hmm.
and
And a
several
cloak
books.
thing.
And what, sir?
There was a cloak in the statue or something.
Oh, right. That was towards the end, though. We found out from the dead guy that he had stored a hidden treasure inside the statue. And
Oh
then
yeah,
everyone
did I take that?
for the statue.
Did I put it on?
I have no idea. Yes, the armor of Shaper's armor.
All I know is it was something Meardin was allowed to have.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to have much.
I also
Break
took
everything.
10 demonic books.
Yes, he took a lot of books.
And that book of rituals.
Well, yeah, but also I don't have that orb. I don't remember what it was. It was orb.
An
of
accurate
what, sir?
orbit. It was just an
Okay.
accurate orb.
So it's just a +1 to accuracy bonus then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not magical. So it's not a magical weapon
It's
or
just like-
implement or whatever. It's
right there.
just basically a +1. It's like a masterwork orb, but they call them an accurate orb.
Right. Because it's more accurate.
Yeah.
To call it an orb.
Yeah, there's a few different kinds that you can get. I just chose that one because it's kind of neat.
It is kind of cool. I like
Seemed
it.
like you
And I
needed
also will not turn down being more accurate with my crowd control stuff. You got a silvered dagger, I think, Griffith, or what was it? I can't remember exactly.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it was a silvered one because it was something
It
that was
was
good against
silvered.
shapeshifters.
Because you could hit the wraith.
I hit it with darts.
Griff.
Yeah. He hasn't shown it to the
It's,
artificer though.
Well, because I don't trust you with it, alright?
Fair.
Artificers
fair.
augment weapons and armor.
I think that one's already augmented.
No, it wasn't. It was just silvered, I believe.
No, it was a magical weapon.
Oh,
a
was it?
+1
yes, this was-
dagger. That
I
was
just couldn't do
silver.
anything because I was
and-
transcending reality.
That one had the power daily power. When making an attack with the weapon, instead choose reflex or fortitude instead of AC. And if it misses, the power is not expended.
Which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's very good. You're welcome, by the way.
La la la, Stalin for
Thank you.
Alright.
Right. Well, regardless, that's basically where we left off. Was we found the cloak.
Alright, and the biggest part that I think that you missed was you, after talking with the family, the head, the father, he wanted you guys to help bury the
Yes.
the family.
Which we were doing when we left.
Yeah, you basically finished that off at the end of the last session. So, looking at the time right now, when you got to the manor, it was already starting to get into the afternoon. I think closer to evening when you got here, first arrived. And now, after spending a couple hours more in here, it is now nighttime. Do you guys want to do an extended rest here?
Probably. It's not diseased anymore, right?
Sure.
Or do you guys want to just head back?
How wonderful.
I don't think we want to be traveling at night.
No.
We're in pretty rough shape too.
Speak for yourself, I'm fine.
Well, I'm fine too.
He's talking about me.
Yeah.
As you guys were burying the corpses too, one thing that you started to notice as you were digging them in and, you know, putting the dirt back on them and everything was that the perpetual monsoon almost out there has started to slow down to more of like a drizzle.
On the bright side, we won't be traveling through that again tonight, then.
It's almost worth it just for that.
Are you guys gonna rest here in the mansion?
Yes.
Sure.
So find a place, hole up, put yourself somewhere on here.
Seriously? The closet?
What? Fine.
How about, you know, the room where you can see people coming and it's defensible from doors?
There's a window here.
And it's not overly broken.
That too.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, so you guys are just kind of pulling up in yourself in a room or possibly two for the night. All right. So
How do I change stuff for that?
so you can just so you can just change this to Shaper's armor. And then if you go to your stats in your AC, armor 1. So you just have +1 AC. That's what that one gives you. There's a power to it, do you remember?
Probably not.
Okay, so the power
Can
to
I just
that
add it somewhere?
armor, yeah.
Down here, right?
Yes. Cam?
What's wrong with Cam? What's he doing?
All right, I got this door.
Okay. Well,
For
we
sleeping
do,
on,
yeah.
not for
Yes.
watching.
Yes.
Just put your hand down so you can read
I put it in the thing.
Yeah, it's comfy,
No.
okay?
Yeah, this one.
it.
Compared to a
Actually,
What's
tree,
it
yeah.
called?
Shaper's armor.
But that's just that's what my power's name is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not a door at all. It's a wardrobe.
I have a door.
No, you don't. You just have a bigger wardrobe.
What do you mean? This isn't a door?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're right.
Here's
Oh
the
my God,
lion.
you guys. All
Here's
right.
the witch. And here's the wardrobe.
So tonight, it's going to be a fairly safe rest.
Yay!
So we just need who's on watch. However, I will need everyone but Cam to roll their endurance.
God damn it.
Away.
Oh, good, because, you know, that's something that I'm
And-
very well known
yeah.
for. It's my endurance.
Before you roll,
No.
Yes.
before you roll.
Cam can aid someone on this
Obviously
check.
not me.
I can't.
I'm fine.
I don't think he probably would have to you anyways to
Yeah.
begin with.
I mean, I've got
Okay.
a 1 for
I think
endurance,
it's
so
referred
this
to
is
me.
gonna go well.
I had a 7. I'm fine.
I'll help Kyle.
I just gotta
Alright.
find what you needed to roll.
So does that mean
Okay,
you have
I
to roll
got
to see if
this.
you
What am I
made it, or
rolling
is it just
exactly?
gonna be
Endurance?
+2
Got
now?
it. I nailed it, didn't I? Hell yeah, brother.
Because I don't remember how
No,
assists
he
work.
nailed it.
Well, yeah, but, alright, but I have a 2
So
in
endurance.
endurance. Means I rolled good.
Alright.
Well, I'll just roll it and we'll figure it out afterwards then, I guess.
I'll roll for you.
Yeah, that's gonna help so much. Okay.
I rolled a 4. I rolled a 1.
Oh, were you trying to aid him?
Yeah.
Well, you would need to roll at least a 10 to aid him. Otherwise, you give him a -1.
I'll give you minus 1.
That's
Wait, who's he giving a
fine.
minus
I
to?
didn't roll well
He's still-
anyways.
Yeah. The goal that you were looking for was a whole 10. The people who got 10 or higher recover from
Yay.
filth fever,
Woohoo!
Yeah!
meaning you no longer have that loss of a healing surge.
No longer have the...
Wonderful.
Wait, does that mean I can heal again?
Yeah.
Yay!
On top of that,
You know
the
what?
people
Zero
who
max.
that failed, so Varen and Meardin, progressed to stage 2.
Oh god.
Uh-oh.
I don't feel good.
Neither do I.
Okay, I have
What this does is not only do you lose 1 to your max healing surge value, on top of that, you also take a -2 penalty to AC and Fortitude while affected.
Oh, good. Guess what? I really don't want to be hit by anything right now.
Yeah, there.
Because my fortitude is currently a 10, and my AC is a 14.
So our current surges are up to back to full, but for us down by 1.
Well,
No.
they're half, like back to your half value.
Back to half value.
So plus half, right?
It's
If we
it's still only. It
So-
feels safer to rest here, but it's not like
Okay.
resting in Bastion. So it's
So I
you
only
get
have 5 surges, what you're saying right now.
yeah whatever your max value is half. That's what you get.
Well,
back.
I had 2 left, and I would get 3 back, so...
Yay.
Is
I
it
don't-
round
Why
up
does
or
it
down?
look like this is... Oh, there it is. So sorry, what?
How many surges do you currently have?
3. I would
So you
normally
would
be able
get-
to have 8, so I get 4 back.
Yeah.
So I'm at 7.
Oh, it's half of what we have to catch up on.
Yes. So if you already had some, then it's on top of
Okay.
that. So Griff has just half.
I'm
What's
just 1
half
off.
7?
Half of 7 is technically 3 because you round
Oh.
down.
Got it. Then I have 3.
On top of that, healing wise, you heal back half of your hit points.
I didn't lose any hit points.
Yes, you're fine. So
Hi.
whatever your half is, you can add that to your current.
Round it down.
I
Yep.
don't... Oh, I got hit once, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
for
no,
most
that's
people, I
half.
think it's okay.
I healed for half. I'm good. I already did it.
Throughout the night, beyond just the
Usual?
yeah. Well, no, beyond like what you've found here, like the corpses of zombies everywhere and
We buried them.
the servants.
We burned them.
With and just this place is desecrated and torn through and everything, so it's not like the greatest place to be, but you do catch a decent sleep here, and the night goes by uneventfully.
Jesus, who's got a creaky chair?
Cam.
And me.
It wasn't my turn this time.
Oh, I know Cam does.
Oh yeah.
I do. Too.
Yeah. So that as you wake up as well, it is now morning. You also find that the rain has slowed down to almost nothing.
Yay. It's a light drizzle.
Is it still muddy?
Oh yeah.
No
Well, I mean, it's been raining perpetually here for who knows how long. What are you guys doing then?
Let
Let's
us
go
move
home.
out.
Yeah. So you've spent what? This what? 2 days out here now?
No, I don't know.
Good answer.
I think.
Mm.
Yes. I think we've spent about 2 days.
All right,
I'm
you
leaving.
guys.
Okay, if nothing important's happening at the second, I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Head out.
Yeah. Well, it's
Whoa.
travel back.
That's fine.
Oh god, where am I?
Ow. Oh god.
Yeah, you don't have to
Okay.
worry about tokens here, but just.
Okay.
All right. So, it takes you from the manor. It was basically a full day to get to where the kobolds are from Bastion.
Yeah.
And then another couple hours from the kobolds to the manor. So, if you're traveling at a fast pace, it's basically a full day of travel back to Bastion.
Let's do that.
Yes, we must make haste.
All right.
Better
That's-
than being out in the dark.
That's the consensus.
I have to make cookies for my
Yeah.
mother.
All right.
Weren't you born in an orphanage, or not born, but living in an orphanage?
Yes.
Me?
So how can you make cookies for your mother?
Oh fuck! I must not be
The
able
nun
to
who
hear
raised me
Griffith.
is my mom, basically. So.
Oh, okay. You're adopted.
Just reconnect, Kyle.
We'll
Yeah.
be gone.
Kyle couldn't hear you, Griff.
He's reconnecting.
Apparently, you couldn't hear him. If you didn't know.
I cannot hear him either.
Hello, Kyle.
Hello, can you hear
Oh,
me?
yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Shucks.
Awesome. Some good roll 20 issues to
Shenanigans.
yeah, it happens. All right. So if you're going at a fast pace, then you guys can make it back to Bastion, but it'll be basically time when you get there to sleep. You guys will be on the brink of exhaustion from traveling all day.
I'm needing to visit a priest.
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
So is that the plan?
Yes.
I suppose so.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice and easy. So the fast travel. So first getting through where the manor is and getting out from there, you find that you guys had quite a bit of trouble getting into the manor. You had to try to force your way through this like curse and almost like this weird fog of diseaseness. I don't really know what to call that.
That's what we're calling it.
Miasma.
Yeah, kind of like a miasma that you had to get through in order to get there, and that has felt like it has dissipated a lot. You can still feel the essence of it. You don't think it'll be fully gone just from doing that, but you do feel that it has lessened quite a bit just from what you've done.
Hooray.
But yeah, going
Much
through
less
this
miasma.
So going through this area, yeah, it's muddy, it's wet, but at least it's barely raining on you now. When you get closer to that old farmstead, where the kobolds were, that's where you find that it's just that grayness now. There's no rain or anything here. It's just gray. And then as you hit onto the old King's Road and travel back towards Bastion, again, you guys have traveled this road quite a bit the last little bit, so it's a fairly safe travel along it. And there's nothing too much of note doing that.
Not much traffic, or
Yeah, you might see maybe one or two people along it, or one or two, like either a family or maybe like just a small like wagon, but that's about it. It's not very well traveled. Well, it's the only well traveled road, but even then, it's not well traveled. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have a lot of people on it all the time. Most people congregate around Bastion, with a few exceptions like the halflings down here that would come in to the town once every while. Like, you haven't seen them for a bit, but you know, you imagine that they would be like one of those traffic of people that you might see on this road.
Yeah. No caravans or anything though.
No, you haven't. Not since the last one left.
Okay.
2-3 days ago now. And then you make it back to Bastion. Coming through the eastern gate again. You know, they seeing.
Trax.
Yeah, Traxel is there. It's always there. Welcomes you back in and raises the gate, the portcullis, to get in to Bastion, and you are now here.
Hooray!
Yay.
And yeah, as you approach Bastion again, like, you're reminded of just like that beacon of hope that it tries to emulate, with the braziers all around. Oh yeah, that thing sucks. I gotta fix it somehow. With the giant fires along the wall, to emulate that. And as you get back into Bastion, it is the end of. It's as I was telling them, taking that fast travel, like fast pace back. You can get back to Bastion, but it's basically you're exhausted.
Dusk.
It's past dusk.
Okay.
There's bedtime.
Yay.
Straight to the guild.
Well, for whoever takes their time there.
We didn't really have a reason to go there because we weren't assigned a mission.
No,
It's
some
what you
some
see.
people live there or
Oh,
have their
sorry.
beds there. I think
Um,
what is it? Hale, Tazraya, Varen,
My
all,
bad.
all stay there.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, you do too, Griff? Okay.
It's the only bed I've ever actually owned.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember where exactly you had spent your
It's-
nights.
How many people are in
It's
that
just a
party?
door on the floor.
6.
This is the most comfortable door ever.
That was my
So
bed.
each of us can add
Oh yeah, Chelsea's got.
27 gold to our thing.
Purses.
Yeah,
How
to your
much is left
purses.
over with that?
Here, purse.
27.5.
I have no idea what I'm at.
3 of you add 1 more gold.
Okay.
Not the rich one.
Damn it.
The rich one.
Yeah.
What is everybody's gold at?
I have no idea.
What,
2, 3,
how
6.
much more?
I don't know what my gold was.
Everyone add
On my
27 gold to your sheet.
229.
I'm at 221.
I think I was around that as well.
8.
How do you not know what you're at?
It's in
8?
your inventory. You're
Well,
not
I
at
was-
8 gold. Unless
I
you
have
haven't
not
added
just-
your silver and stuff up.
I have not bought a lot. I just realized that.
Okay, there was also a silver and 4 copper left over, but I'll just save it. for next.
Well, I'm off to visit the local.
I could just add the gold to that too until the next
I
time.
guess whatever passes for a church around here.
Who took the extra
The
gold?
I'll take it so I can go pay for getting this damn filth fever removed.
Me too.
Give it all to Jim.
Yeah, I'll take one of the 1 extra.
And then Griff can have the other one then.
Really?
Really.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll follow Meardin to the.
Come on,
Nurse.
let's-
Can you look
let's
up
go-
the values
let's
of
go
that
get
quarter
healed.
staff, bone dice, and skill armor?
Hello, nurse.
Maybe I'll get rid of those.
So you, Varen and Meardin are both going to the temple then?
Yeah.
All right. So getting to the temple, it's closed because it's night. You can try to knock on the door or something if you'd like to.
Yeah, I'd rather this not
Lots of
progress any further,
you.
and I doubt I'm gonna succeed at my freaking endurance check. So Meardin will politely try to knock on the door.
You can take 20.
That's not quite how that works. After some knocking, a little bit of time, the the door does open, and greeted before you is. Did you come to the temple?
I did, but I don't think Varen did.
Yeah, I think it was Hale.
Yes,
Right?
I did.
I
Yeah.
think it was Hale, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Discussing
recognize
drinking
the priest there as the one you spoke with before,
Oh, okay.
and he greets you and he looks at you and he says, "You don't look well."
You're very perceptive tonight. I don't suppose I could ask for some assistance with this, good sir.
Apologize for keeping you up so late.
Oh, yes, that too.
think you get
Was that a diplomacy check?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Damn.
As he says, for whatever ails you, please come in.
Thank you.
He mentions that he can cast Cure Disease on you, which is the ritual that will remove your illness. But he says it's not cheap.
Yeah, I figured.
It
Take
will
it out of the hide of a certain dark elf.
cost 140 gold each.
Well, that's a good thing I collected all these books I'm not going to sell.
Is there any way we can help out with those costs?
He says, of course.
What is the cost?
140 each.
Oh, gee. Good thing you got that extra gold.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
The extra one.
Did you not hear me say I was going to take it out of the hide of a certain dark elf?
Hey, I did not poison you.
You're the one who wanted to go without protection.
There was no protection, you asshole.
Why are we talking like this? I'm not there. I don't hear it.
They already told us there was no protection against it. That they
No,
could
they
cure it if
didn't.
you. Yes, they did!
You didn't want to wait.
Anybody else want to remember that conversation?
They said
Someone
they
did run out the gates pretty
they
fast.
did say they would have to send an expedition out in order to do it, and that might take a long time.
That. And look at that, we're fine.
I'm good at helping out with chores or...
I can lift things a little bit, as long as it's not too much effort.
Says, that's good. We could use your help with a few things in the future. I will do the ritual for 100 gold each.
Oh, much appreciated. Thank you.
But I will ask you for something in the near future. Perhaps when we come up with a suitable thing for you to do.
I suppose that's only fair. Very well.
I agree.
I see you are part of Aldis's guild as well, so I'll know where to fetch you from.
Does everyone know that? Like, are you wearing a badge? Am I wearing a badge?
Yes, you guys are.
I'm wearing a badge.
Well, not a badge, but like the gear used or taken from his place does
yes.
have a unique flair to it. So, to know, like, the people in Bastion will know the guild house and their look, versus someone outside of Bastion. They might not know anything.
Except for I belong to a library.
So 100 gold each, and then
Yeah, I marked it off already.
each one takes he sits Meardin down first.
Because he's
And-
polite.
So
Wait, I am?
Oh no.
No.
Sorry. No, I missed it.
He does sit Meardin down first, and the ritual itself takes 10 minutes to do. However, it does take a toll on you.
Mm-hmm.
A big toll.
Of course it does.
because I rolled
I'm
a very low
happy
number.
tonight.
Ouch. I'm sorry. You take damage equal to your maximum hit points.
Stop whistling.
I'm sorry, what? So I'm unconscious is what you're saying.
What?
Yes.
Okay, well, I needed a nap anyways.
Funny.
As the priest is doing the ritual on you, and before he goes, he does mention that this could hurt a little.
Oh my god.
Is he doing it just to Meardin for the moment?
Just a Meardin.
Oh.
And just as you see him, he's lit candles all around. He's got his books out. He's chanting. He's going around Meardin. You just see Meardin's eyes start rolling back. You see his.
I wish I'd gone.
You see his muscles starting to strain, if he even has muscles.
No, because he doesn't even lift the damn books.
And then all of a sudden, Viren, you can sense that Meardin is in a bit of danger.
Point and laugh. Point and
Maybe
laugh.
you can't sense that he's in a bit of danger.
I think I'm about to die from a healing ritual.
I wasn't helping him. I was trying to watch the insight, and it's not looking good.
You don't know what the hell's going on. You think he's
You're-
a pussy and he passed out.
Yeah, you
So how
you
did
just
you die
kind
while I
of
was healed by a
see that he's
priest?
kind of convulsing, and then Meardin falls over.
This is like the
Unconscious.
typical exorcisms from the 70s.
That's not that's not a side effect of paying so little gold, is it?
He's not here.
He quickly looks to you and he says, "Of course not."
That's amazing.
That was very good.
The worry in your tone said it just right.
As then you see him quickly rush over to Meardin after the ritual's done, as he puts his hands on his chest, as you just see the white energy pour into Meardin.
Priest
and,
version of CPR.
Meardin, you revive with 1 hit point.
I wish I
You're
had
lucky you got to go first.
gone.
Oh, is that what I am? That was luck.
Otherwise, you would have left.
Oh, everything
Oh.
hurts.
He says, "Don't move. You seem to have taken this little."
Does he have a
Worse
back I
than
can
most.
slap when he comes back?
Well, he's probably going to his arc.
Whoop.
By the way, I'm an Ellen. Does that affect this ritual? Ow!
Says, "No, it doesn't."
Okay, good. That's fine. Ah!
As then he looks towards Varen and he says, "Your turn."
I want a
Sorry,
second
it
opinion.
doesn't fucking hurt at all.
If you say so.
And you're a pussy.
Oh, I'm gonna crit on this one.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
I think I'll do it.
Oh no, that's not any better.
You sprung butterfly wings and everything's happy.
I'm crying.
Oh, this would have been great to do live, just with everyone's reactions all together here. That would have been great.
It hurts.
Varen,
Uh-huh.
the same exact same thing.
Oh no.
As he starts,
Stop watching
and just
the video.
immediately you start feeling your muscles just contract.
I think you should have asked
And-
for a different priest.
He says, "Normally I don't perform these in the middle of the night,
I mean, fair enough.
and I
Next
get
time
paid
I'll
more."
I hope I don't.
Holy Jesus.
As Varen also take damage equal to your maximum hit points.
Ouch.
He collapses with a big crash.
That must be into the negative hit points.
No. Oh, does it? Were you not at max?
No, because we only healed for.
Oh shit!
That's so funny.
Immediately after, though, as the ritual ends, as he tries to lower the bigger Varian down, a little more gently maybe, he puts his hands over your chest as well as you feel this jolt of energy through you as you revive with 1 hit point.
Speechless.
You should ask for a bigger discount.
I think I'm gonna pay the rest of the gold.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up
Why would you pay it after? He
To
already
not
knocked
have to
your
go
ass
through
out.
whatever he's gonna make us do after this.
Tony's gonna fall out of his
For the
chair.
record, I don't think I want to learn that ritual.
I do. I really do.
Wait, teach it to me. There's an elf I need to get revenge on.
I'm
How much was it normally, Tony?
crying. Don't pay him any more money.
140.
140, so 40 more. Yeah. I'm gonna pay him the 40 extra gold. Go, don't worry about it.
As he
Fucking not.
looks to you and he says, I think you're right. I think we probably shouldn't have done this tonight. In fact, that will cover both of your costs.
Thanks. Cool, I guess.
I don't know if I feel any
Meardin
better.
struggles to try to stand
I'm
up.
so
You,
proud of
you,
you.
you rolled some pretty good diplomacy checks and things already. So
So how much did they pay total?
240 instead of
Yeah.
280. So still a 40 gold discount. That's still a good discount.
Well, I was
Why did I
gonna.
master the orb instead of the staff? I could really use a walking stick.
Oh, I'd lend you mine, but no.
I'll tell you what, let me use it. I'll lift you with my psychic powers.
Your
You think
psychic
you
powers
can?
are broken.
I can't lift myself. It doesn't work like that, apparently, according to my rules here.
No.
I looked.
I'll just stand on a book and then move the book.
Oh, that's brilliant. Hang on. Can I move a stretcher?
Then you'd have to stand on a book.
No, you can't. But you should look into the what's the one? The invisible guy that helps.
The
Unknown
platform.
servant.
I think that's a ritual I could have taken, but I took the
Unknown
learn the
servant.
language of it.
on another.
Unseen servant. Sorry.
On a different
Oh.
note, if we all contributed 25 gold towards the poor boys, they could at least have some of their costs covered.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, I could. Dang it. Can I? Is there a bench or something nearby?
You guys can recoup 50 gold each.
Yeah, there's there's the pews and stuff in the
Cool.
temple and stuff.
Meardin
that-
goes over to a pew and just uses telekinetic lift on it, lifts himself into the air and towards the door. I'm borrowing this.
It does not work like that.
Aww.
You know they're usually attached to the floor, right?
Yeah,
Dang it.
and also it does not work like that.
Yes, it does. I could. An object that weighs 400 pounds or less that isn't carried by another creature, I can slide it.
So you're just sliding it along the ground?
Look at this.
Oh, it's telekinetic lift. I lift it into the air and I can move it.
Did you, Kate?
You could ask me to come and help.
No, it's fine. Don't. I'm good.
So while they were off doing that, what was everyone else going to do?
I went to bed.
I was probably heading home, yeah.
I'm sad that I missed that, but I went to bed.
Alright, so everyone else was in bed and or heading to bed, etc.
Was everybody fine with giving them 25 gold each?
Sure.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah.
So how much comes back to us?
You both get 50 each back.
50 each. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, you guys will have to do a quest for us instead.
Dang it.
I think we just did.
Hey, I would pay you more if I could come watch the next time that happened.
I'll bring popcorn.
Yeah.
As they leave the church, Meardin looks over to Bjorn. We don't tell anyone about this.
Let's just say we went drinking.
Agreed.
And fell many times. Ow. Ow.
Got into a bar fight while we were at it.
Okay, so
Got
you
fight-
guys.
fight with the bar.
So you guys, everyone else went to bed, and as you guys are resting for the night, everyone heals back up completely. So that's kind of nice for everyone now, including yes, you, Varen and Meardin.
Someone moving furniture.
Sounds like it.
And then it is morning time, and you all wake up at your perspective places of
Respective.
yes.
Respect.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm not with you guys.
Let's not do that again.
I went to my house. I actually have a house.
Yeah, I'll head to the guild hall.
Guild hall in the
Um,
morning.
Meardin is definitely going to stop by the the friggin' the Archive of Life and drop off all the books he's got so far.
Okay. Are you doing that first? Are you doing that first?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
on the way to work.
Alright. So, the Archive of Life. You want to describe it a bit for everyone? Maybe. I don't think we ever really have.
No, I don't think anyone else has been there but me. Whenever I need to do research,
Yeah,
and you know,
so-
considering it's the place where
It's number 9 on the map, so it's
Yep.
this bigger building there.
it's a fairly nice building. It was actually it was originally built to be a chapel, but then they discovered the gods had abandoned them and all that, so it went to different use, and now there's shelves lined with books from all the different places that they've managed to actually find these different books. So the caravans that come in sometimes trade for any kind of artifacts or books they might have found. And it's basically a reservoir of all the knowledge that we have managed to discover from the kind of dystopian world that used to exist. As you walk in, it's almost like a library. There's just walls and walls of books and people going around and archiving things and taking notes of where certain things are. And it basically, you might see someone who has a specific subject and they're doing a little bit more research on that, so they'll be in a particular section for hours, just kind of trying to compile a list of what we actually know or so that nothing is ever lost to us again, even in these dark times.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not
and,
there, so I don't know any of that.
dropping off.
Leather bound books and rich mahogany.
Sure is.
Rich mahogany.
As you're dropping off some of these books and things too, and do you work here, or did you work here, or do you just like?
Yes, I was originally my mother's actually one of the archivers, and my character was one of the researchers, and one of the reasons he kind of wanted to get out and learn more about the world was they found that one of the things that came in was the ritual, which allowed someone to transform into an Elen and gain the psychic abilities, which he did. So he volunteered for that so he could go out in the world and kind of explore it more.
Yeah, and bring back.
To collect more
knowledge
information as
and-
well?
Oh
or-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one reason why you're so interested in finding the books and things.
Oh, yeah.
So- yeah, and as you are dropping these books off, they thank you immensely for some of these tomes. As some of them, they do. One of the person says they've seen a few of these before, or ones by these authors, but one of them they hadn't seen yet. And with that, he also hands you a small pouch of gold.
Well, anything I can do to help out. After all, it's best to preserve what we can, and so we don't have another situation
sorry.
where we lose so much.
Not gold. A small
What?
bag of residium.
Ooh, even better.
Yes, because that makes more sense for the archive.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. So how much residium?
20 gold worth.
Alright.
So for those unfamiliar with residium, Every ritual that gets cast has a cost to it, component cost. Generally, you need specific components for it or a gold cost. Residium is kind of like the wild currency for it. You can use it towards any ritual.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Or you can sell it for gold, whatever.
Considering we have 2 ritual users, I think I'll hold on to that for now. All right.
And then, do you head to the guild then?
Yep, right afterwards.
Okay. So, Ramsey is the only other one that doesn't go to the guild to sleep?
Yeah, I go to my parents' place for the night.
Alright. Are you just going to the guild in the morning as well?
Pardon?
Are you just going to the guild in the morning as well?
Pretty much. I speak to my parents and see how things are going.
Perfect.
They ask me about my day.
But your adventures in the wild?
Yeah.
Nice.
They
They
tell them I'm
notice-
doing fine.
But when you come back, I don't really remember. Did you take much damage in the whole manor stuff?
No, I think I got down to half health
Okay.
during the one
Do you have
fight.
any
That was
noticeable
about it.
like scratches or?
I got
Yeah.
hit once.
Yeah, I'm not too scuffed up or anything.
Your mom just notices like this one scratch across, like just below your cheek, and just comes up to you. Oh, you poor thing! And
I'm fine, Mom.
tries to spit on her
Bottle.
finger and rub it off. Kind of like dirt, but not.
Oh, you poor thing. Oh, wow.
You're not here, man.
Says the
I'm
orphan.
scarred to shit, dude.
And an orphan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scarred in more ways than one. And then everyone
Look for
else
meatloaf,
is at
man.
the guild. So, as you guys all reconnect at the guild, what's the plans for the day?
Not house hunting.
I'd offer, but you'd have to share with my parents as well and my brother, so probably not likely to happen.
No, I didn't mean that house hunting. I meant
Oh.
the other
Manor
Go
hunting.
busting.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to do something.
I mean, I could go visit the
Is it on
orphanage,
yet?
but I haven't been there
Can
in
we go
years.
talk to what's his name?
Aldous?
Yep.
Is that the plan? Go see if Aldous has anything for you?
Yeah, check in.
Alright.
Yeah.
You
Maybe
guys...
we get. Well,
There was a yep. Keep on going.
Oh, okay. As you guys are all at the guild and, reach out to everyone in the morning, get yourself all together, your gear, you head on into the lion's den and await Aldous there. Aldous, as he comes up to you in the morning, still dressed in his garb, his chainmail. Who has high? What's everyone's passive insight?
Passive insight?
11.
One.
It's
One?
it's passive. Mine's a 17 actually.
It's
It
under
should be at-
7.
It should be at least a 10.
Oh, passive.
I see.
Passive.
Where?
It's on the
17.
left.
On the left
Yeah,
side.
17 as well.
11.
10.
I'm 11, yeah.
I think Tesserae probably has the highest, doesn't she?
No, I have
No.
14. My perception's high. My insight's.
Oh,
My perception's high too.
Those of you who have
Are about
13
exactly
or
10.
higher, notice that Aldous looks a little bit upset this morning as he comes in to talk to you about the day, as he kind of gives a harumph in the morning as he goes up to his chair, sits down, and he says, "All right, What are we doing? What are we doing here today?
Who pissed in your shoes?
Looks like someone has.
He kind of just looks at Tazraya and he goes, "I was at the Lord's Manor all night." He's,
Politics. Always a good thing for the mood, eh?
it's not my cup of tea.
Just for anybody who's wondering, my charisma is -1.
Same
I
here.
think they
plus
all
one.
gathered that. If they haven't already.
Technically, it's a 9, but it's a -1.
Yeah, the -1 modifier.
Mine's a -1 against women.
Not just mine.
I think it's -6.
It'd be worse.
As he says, not only had we had the lizard folk farming or hunting our fishermen in the north, which again I thank you for dealing with that. But now I've heard our supplies are getting run amok in the southwest. Our hunters are being pursued by a great beast running wild in the forest.
What kind of beast?
I think
And
they
that's
run.
that
They
is
don't
the information that I have for you. Says
Turnabout's fair play.
says no one has really seen it, or at least has come forward to say that they've seen it. But they've all run away or have been caught and presumably killed.
What?
Was it hunting all its prey?
Just another day for you guys.
Says, don't have much information on this one, unfortunately, but
That's a shame.
it needs to be dealt with, and it needs to be dealt with before word gets out to the general populace on it.
Well,
What
if
region
they're
did
in
you say
its
they were in?
territory hunting all its prey,
He says
naturally
it
it
definitely.
would go after them.
He says it sure isn't, as we've been in this area for a while now, and this has just happened within the last 10 days.
Maybe it was driven out by something else.
Do we know what type of beast or?
No,
Monster.
pay
big
attention.
monster.
Apparently, no one's been able to get any visual on it. What
Unless
region
they're
was it
being
in?
eaten.
They're
The
dead.
southwest.
Southwest.
Presumably
he
eaten.
Don't
says-
suppose I could do a history check to see if I've researched anything on the wildlife in that area?
Apparently it's new, so why would that matter?
Oh.
As
It's
he,
not necessarily
points-
new
he,
to the
he
past.
has looks at your guys' map as he points out the area for you, and this general area.
Oh, I was close.
Near the
Sure.
desert over there?
No,
Y-
here.
Yeah, there's kind of a desert over there, but more in this one.
Okay.
More in the here.
To the south
Would
of
I-
the river, but to the west.
What's that?
Would
gem?
I have any prior
No,
knowledge
it's
of the
not.
wildlife in that area?
It's maybe around
That we
here.
haven't looked at yet.
Yeah, they go. Ooh.
Yeah, you can do a history check.
I wonder if something came out of the grove that nobody comes out of.
History, would that be more?
Yeah, that's pretty close.
It's that area is about 2 days of travel, as he mentions to you, just due to the hazardous, like there are no established trails going there.
No, but you can travel along the river fairly easily.
He says, no, not generally. You can use it as a guide.
That's the point. Then you don't get lost.
Yes,
And then you also have a constant water source.
yes, you can do that.
Smart. Let's do it.
Do we have life straws?
Do we have what?
Life straws?
Tell you what.
I
We'll
don't
pick
trust the
somebody
water.
to drink from the water first, and if they don't die, it's fine. I
Oh,
know
I
who
got
I
it.
vote.
I vote for the orphan.
Oh, I got this.
Why would you vote for him? He's probably more hardened to all the diseases that would
Yeah,
affect the
sure.
rest of us
I was
than anybody
gonna
else.
say, he's barely affected by the disease at the manor.
He was affected by being whacked by the people in the manor.
Meardin,
Yes.
you've heard of some of the animals around there. Like the general hunting that they do in that area are boars, and things of that nature, like bigger beasts that they can
Mid-sized, yeah.
yeah, good sized ones that they can harvest for a good amount of meat, things like that, and bring them
Right.
back. So
Do they refrigerate them for 2 days?
But nothing typically that would be able to
That's magic.
attack hunters that readily then.
Well, there's dangers all over the place. Like
But
you
nothing
know that
natural.
there could be things like bears out in that area, things like that, like large beasts of that nature.
It's also near that mysterious grove that some people go in and never come out of.
Yes, I want to check that out as well if we do get a chance, but at the moment I'm trying to think of if there would be any kind of wildlife that would naturally be this kind of, like... But nothing would come to mind that would be something the hunters hadn't seen before?
Yeah,
Right.
nothing that you would say that the hunters would go.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely this thing.
My point being, Meardin, that what if the thing that kept people from coming out of the grove came out of the grove itself?
Actually, that's a very good possibility, but at the very... that wasn't in that area, didn't we mark it on the map?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the grove. The grove
That'd
is
be like
The
a
G.
day away.
like a full day away.
Uh-huh. And what makes you think something can't be driven out of its own territory and have to stake up a claim in another territory?
Well,
Because we didn't take
given
their
what we
dragon
know
orb.
about the grove, is the grove itself was the danger. We don't know if there was a creature or
We
anything
didn't
like
know
that in there,
anything
so...
about the grove.
I did some research on it, actually.
You did a little bit of research, yes.
I'm not familiar with any creature that would necessarily fit anything that would likely attack the hunters, especially if it's not... I would assume the grove is more protecting something inside the grove, and wouldn't assume a creature would be driven out of it myself. But then again, there's the possibility that I'm wrong, so I will grant you that.
How very sweet of you.
Yeah, I think
It
the
doesn't
best way
happen
to
very
find
often.
out is to go and find out ourselves.
Unfortunately, it looks like you're probably right. We're probably gonna have to go in blind.
Has anyone gone missing from it, or just
Yes.
rumors of people?
No, there have been a few hunters that have not returned. And there is a small hunter's cabin in that area.
Okay.
So I will kind of... Aldous says he'll put a little tick on the map for you.
Good starting point.
There.
Ish.
That's where the hunter's cabin is located. Somewhere in that hex.
Isn't that also where the thing is located that we're trying to hunt down?
Yeah, that's what.
Well, that's where the hunters are operating.
I was just
so
giving you a visual on your map of whereabouts it is.
looks like a
Okay.
4.
As he says, the hunter's cabin is in that area. It is hidden. It is camouflaged and usually known by the hunters. So you could perhaps ask them before you leave if any have come back in this time.
I would highly
Yeah.
suggest investing in some traps, snares.
Hey, I can do that sort of thing. I am an artificer.
I'll leave that to you guys. I'm going to possibly go back and see what I could find for information on the area before we leave. If you don't mind me preparing
Right.
that instead.
And he
Yeah, it would
says,
be useful to get some information from some of the hunters that have returned. I think you did say that they
How
did.
much your throwing knives?
Some
Yeah.
are back.
I'll find it for you, Doderchi.
Yeah. Even if they didn't get a good look at the creature, they could
Let us know about the general area. The
yeah
dangers.
tell us what happened,
As Aldous says,
what kind of wounds the other hunters took.
anyone who has seen it has died.
Oh,
You're not really filling me with confidence there, all this old boy.
There
Did
are
they
no
find-
known instances of any hunters coming back saying that they've seen this beast.
so they just went missing? But did they find any of the
No,
corpses
then
of their hunters?
and this is why, as he slams his hand down on the table, I'm so upset with the Lord. With the information that he's given me to give to you to carry on, it's not enough. This is not our general forte to do this.
Does the Lord know more information?
Says I was pressing him all night, but I don't think he does. The biggest things that he is more concerned about is between this, the fishing, not having enough food coming in to the town, with not enough caravans coming in. We don't.
He doesn't want to panic.
Yeah, we don't want to panic the town.
Looking at the map, do we know if the beast is staying on the east side of the river?
He says, from all the knowledge that I know, yes.
How much would 14 daggers cost? Well, throwing knives.
I'll find it. And then he says, on top of that, I will give you 50 gold each upon completion, bringing back the head of this beast, claws, some sort of food.
Why do we have to kill it?
He says,
Well,
if you
it
can...
seems very, very dangerous, so that would probably be the most likely way to deal with it.
He says, if anything, it will try to kill you.
If it makes you feel any better, we'll try to reason with it first. That's Rhea.
You don't reason
After
with
it tries to bite your hand off, though, that's where I draw the line.
You don't reason
Try to
with
give it
beasts, you
a
find the
handshake and
reason
it
that
just
its
rips your arm
behavior
off.
has changed.
Oh!
I'm curious if there's any stories of something like this in the past.
I am quite curious of that as well, and I happen to know just the place to research that kind of thing temporarily, if you'll excuse me. And actually, Meardin will just kind of leave without saying another word.
We
As
know
he
where to
says,
find you.
Yes,
That you do.
You should leave sooner rather than later.
How
But
many healing potions do we all have?
that's a question for everyone else.
Does anybody know how many healing potions we have?
I'm pretty sure at least one of them got used.
I don't have one.
We didn't use any
I
this
have at
last
least
time
one.
because nobody had healing surges.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't have any on me.
I
don't
didn't
think.
have any on me.
I have
didn't
one.
any.
So it sounds
I
like
have one
2 total.
healing potion.
What about Griffin? Do you have one?
Griffith?
Griff!
I can't hear him either.
No.
Oh, did we lose him a long time ago?
Oh, the poor bastard.
Maybe he can hear us, but
See, he drank the water, and now he's dead.
You realize that's the same water that flows through Bastion, right? That's not how you spell here.
yeah, I know. I also didn't apostrophize the can't as well. What's your point?
That bothers me more.
Well, do you want me to roll anything for researching for possible legends of creatures in this area?
Yeah, no, totally. So what's everyone going to be doing then before you guys head out? Aldous looks to you and does mention that you want to try to probably move out today.
Sooner than later.
Yeah.
Is there like a place where hunters meet in town here, where we could maybe get some
My guess would be
hunting
one of the
supplies?
pubs.
Or I guess
Taverns.
kind of like an adventuring store, maybe.
Yeah, there is a what's it called? 1 second here. I think I actually have something down for that.
A blister and barnacle.
I'm not rolling well tonight.
Griffin is having Wi-Fi issues.
Okay.
This is why I hardwire everything.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yep.
The Quiet Fawn.
Okay.
It's like a store full of almost less of a store, more of like a general goods where like trading post almost style
Yeah, that's
stuff.
what I was just thinking. Yeah.
That's kind of what I was trying to figure out the name of it. So that'll be number 14. And that's probably where you
That's
would
the
want to go.
big one up of the building there. So if not 14.
Oh, hey,
Lord's
yeah.
Castle.
That's
That's
He
why
likes
the-
to adventure.
That's
Sorry. I was just going off the next one. 15.
Yep.
15 it is. It's still a larger building.
Yeah.
On the edge of town.
Why aren't they numbered in any semblance of order?
Because they're not.
That's basically. Alright, so he knows what's happening. He just might not be able to talk. Alright, Griff, that's good. If you want to just, you can type in what you want to do and stuff. If that's easier.
And you may not say I, even in text form.
Agreed.
I concur.
We are too white for that!
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sakes.
I hate you.
Yay.
So yeah, so he tells you that you'll give you 50 gold each on completion and to start as soon as you can.
Okay.
And then immediately dismisses you. Unless you have, any other questions for him.
Alright, for the record, I can't find shit on this thing in the archive. I cannot remember ever reading about it or anything.
13's not a bad check.
I rolled a 2.
You remember that we're in the low level DCs, right?
You're level 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's moderate. You
Oh,
hit the
okay.
mid-level
Well, that's
one.
good.
You're still used to the high DCs.
Well, and
I
also
probably am.
fifth edition is different too, right?
It is also very different. That would be a terrible roll in 5th edition.
Yeah. All right. So that's what you're doing. What's everyone else doing?
I was buying daggers.
Yeah.
I was heading to 15.
Okay.
I was gonna go to the hunter store as well.
So
Yeah, I'd take along there.
Quiet fawn.
The
I
quiet
have a
fawn.
hunter's pack, right? So I have all the snares and stuff.
Quiet
you
fawn.
have some, yes. I can tell you what's in it in a second here.
It should be hooked on fawns.
It would not be a bad idea to, if we're going to have to hunt something, to have additional
So
hunting gear.
what's in a hunter's kit is bottles of various animal scents, guide to edible flora in the region, knife, 2 snares, and on top of that, when you're using the hunter's kit itself, you also gain a +2 to nature checks to forage. So like you're using, your books and stuff. Yep.
Any little bit helps. How much are those?
50 gold.
I already have the
So
pack.
how much are those?
Holy shit. He is
So
very
you're going to the
diplomatic
quiet
today.
fawn to.
Damn. It's like
I
looking
already
to buy
have
a
the
bunch of
pack.
gear
I
to
already
help
have
you
the
out here.
book. So why don't you just get the snares or something like similar?
I was thinking that because we're going to be helping them with their clientele, that perhaps they'd be interested in lowering the price or even giving us advice and supplies.
Again, I already have the books. Just get the traps and shit to go with it.
He does say, as you get there, as he says, I see Aldous has contracted you out to help us with our problem down there. Says business isn't doing that well currently, as you can tell, we've lost a few members. As much of a discount as I would love to give you, I could only give you a small one.
Yeah, and he's appreciated. Though information's probably the most things.
Yeah.
He says,
what-
information, everything that we know, we will share with you. But he says, I can sell you a pack for 45.
I mean, we could
Sure.
share the pack.
You mean
I
like
think
my
I'll have
pack?
my own. But I'll share some of it with you if you need it.
Jesus Christ. Can they hear
It's
me?
a good thing you're not there.
Can they hear me?
No, you're just not with them.
You're not there.
Alright. As he says as well, a lot of this creature, as he's going to explain this to you, what's Griffith doing?
Probably stealing shit.
And what were you doing? You were just going out to find.
I was just restocking. I got some
Restocking on
daggers.
supplies,
I need the price on those.
On
Probably trying on ladies' underpants.
Our list for sample days, just so we can divide it.
No.
Look at me.
And I can get rid of it. I remember
I'm
like
so
us talking
pretty.
about it and everything, but we never actually did anything with it. Jesus. That is a squeaky chair.
25 gold in total.
Wasn't mine this time.
So Griff, sorry, what were you doing?
It's Griff!
Nothing. I'm not doing much. I'm just standing
He's
here.
back.
Were you going to the huntsman place with the party? Were you going off to do your own thing?
I got nothing I really need to do,
Who
honestly.
has actually good nature?
Sounds good. So you're just waiting until everyone's ready to go.
Just hanging out.
Chillaxing.
So the people at the Huntsman Guild get
That's for sure.
get some information about this creature. The most notable thing is a couple of notable things about it that they can tell you are that this creature, they couldn't tell you if it's one, if it's two, or if it's like a pack. It just, you hear just all of a sudden a rustling, like almost like the rustling of a wind, and then your partner's gone, or whoever you're with is gone.
That could be people. That doesn't
Wendigo.
have anything to do with a giant creature.
The scariest part is there are no footprints. It doesn't leave any tracks.
Bird.
What?
Bird.
What a-
Seriously doubt it's a creature.
It's a
So
bird.
do you find bodies after?
It says, we don't stay in the area after.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's fine.
We get out of there.
Yeah,
Says
leave
this
your
is
people.
unfortunate because this is our this was a prime spot for hunting, deer, boar, things like that.
Muskrats,
Could be slavers.
He's
rich mahogany.
You're
good thing
not
you're
there.
not there.
Would it be during the day or only at night?
He says it has happened at all times.
Remember,
It-
there's
it
no
has
day or
only-
night.
It has only there is day and night.
Not
There's
much.
a noticeable. It's just very gray during the day. At night it's
So ha-
dark and gray.
How many hunters have you lost
Says
that you're aware of?
5 so far. This
Was
has
there
happened
anything similar
10 days
about them?
ago.
Or does it appear to be random?
He says there's nothing specific that we can tell you. We generally hunt in pairs. In one instance, we haven't heard of one pair returning, and the other 3, it was just one of their partners that was gone.
So possibly coming from the trees and lifting people out. Any leaves dropping during these
Meardin.
encounters?
With your research, spending some time in reading books and trying to figure out what's some common dangers and things down there. One thing that it points to for you
Winged apes.
are you've found mention of things like owl bears in that area.
Oh, fantastic.
He's not coming.
Lost him.
Although, well, after doing some research, Meardin's gonna quietly gather up a couple of the lesser important books on wildlife and fauna in the area and kind of just stuff he can read while he's out and go back and try to meet up with the others.
Let them try to figure this out.
Has there been, for the people hunting, has there been law, like, has the wildlife in the area disappeared? Or certain types of wildlife disappeared?
And he says, no, it's still as plentiful as it can be.
A nature spirit.
See, any creature, normal creatures anyway, do not, A, usually seek out humans because they're dangerous. B, would not differentiate between prey.
You're looking
See,
at the real world.
Would leave Footprints.
You're looking at the real world for the first one. This is a fantasy world with things like owlbears. And umber hulks.
Owlbears would
and
still kill a
ropers
fucking boar.
and
Oh,
riders
if it's an Umber Hulk, I'm gonna cry.
and beholders.
Any spider webs around the area you're working?
You're not there.
I am now.
She showed up partway through.
I did. I finished my shopping.
No.
What'd you buy?
You ever check trees?
Says yes all the time. Usually we're in trees.
Anybody go
We've
missing
made,
from a tree?
We've made posts in trees for better vantage points on prey.
Anybody go missing from a tree?
Yes.
Any leaves falling while you're hunting? More than usual?
Says I don't believe so.
Okay, let's go. I'm done.
How far
ready to
away were people when they disappeared from their partners?
Usually we are within 50 feet of each other within.
Oh, okay.
So
Do they cry out or are they just gone?
in one instance, someone heard something that they resembled a ah, and that was it. In the other instances, they just kind of heard some rustling in that the general direction of where their partner was, and they went to go check it out. And they were gone, with no indication of where.
We heard there was a hunter's cabin out there. Can you tell us how to find it, or?
It says yes, we can. It'll be a reprieve from the dangers out there, a possible reprieve, anyways. And he tells you pretty well exactly how to get there.
This river runs through Bastion, right?
It runs around Bastion.
Anybody have a canoe?
Who are you asking?
Nope. I have a fishing rod.
Anyone?
No, he says we can sell you one.
Oh, was that a question? No.
Like make getting
could
there a
build
lot
one.
faster.
I can steal it.
If we build it, they will come.
If you build it, I'm not getting in it.
Well, that's one way to have her not come along.
They could let us borrow one. We're going to kill or deal with the beast.
But he trusts in our success. So,
Yeah.
Says how many of there are you?
I don't think a canoe would be a good idea, because if we get into combat, none of us are trained fighting from a boat.
I don't know how to swim.
Do you even take baths?
That's the problem.
Yeah, but like
Life
that,
jacket
I
as well.
In the bathtub. I can't just fucking swim.
Christ's sakes.
If he can't swim, he's probably not going to want to go in a boat.
Is there a decent trail to find our way down there?
Says no, there's not. There's no the area down there.
Good, give me
We
water wings. I'll take the boat.
specifically try to keep it as
Wild, yeah.
as wild as we can.
You built a cabin.
If you go to see this cabin, I will be surprised if you see it at first glance.
I wouldn't.
He looks at you and he still says that.
Do you want to bet a canoe?
Here we go now. Everybody done shopping?
I think so. Is there a hunter that can go with us to show us the way?
First aid kits where you can make like poultices and.
Yeah.
How much are those?
Healing.
You kidding me?
Like, I'm
We're
not looking for
bait,
something that's
basically.
potion or anything, or can make potions,
Well,
but just like.
Cam can make potions.
I know. I don't care about that.
I
I'm
can
about
make
stitching
potions.
wounds,
Not really good ones.
I can steal potions.
Alchemy. You're looking for alchemy stuff.
No, I'm really not. That's
No,
not what I
that's
wanted at all.
those types of things are under alchemy in this edition. Like clear water solutions,
It's like a field
tanglefoot
medic.
bags,
Yeah.
things like that.
I think there was only like 2 potions that were like level 2 or lower.
Yeah, it depends on what level of potion, like what level you guys are on what you can actually make.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot at low level.
Yeah. Congratulations, you made potato water.
Well, maybe it's not.
Woohoo!
Yes. Potato water. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I throw it at the enemy. Is the enemy weak to potato water? No. Shucks.
I know that there's something along those lines. I don't know what it's called. But there's a whole bunch of different things for like trying to create your own stuff.
I didn't want to create my own stuff. I just want to be able to stitch people back up.
Yeah, so I would call that like a healer's kit.
I would call it a first aid kit, but sure.
Yeah.
Kitty.
Field medic.
Stuff like that is about 50 gold. Generally, where you get it from.
Can we go now?
If everyone's done.
I do have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Of the hunters that have come back, is there anything they wish they could have tried?
Is there anything they wish they
Could have tried.
Says kind of looks to you and says, "What do you mean?"
Not losing their partners.
Well, like to actually catch this thing.
And says, "When something doesn't make sound, you can't see it, and it leaves no tracks. We
Get the fuck out.
tend to not want to go back."
Fair
He
enough.
says it's
Yeah.
that is something that we have very seriously considered looking in other areas for hunting instead.
All right. Thank you.
Alright. Thank you.
All right. With that, you guys head out.
We head out.
Or
I think we should get bells and put them on our ankles. So if someone gets grabbed, then we'll hear it.
That is a
Ooh,
terrible idea.
Just tie a rope between each other.
Bear bells.
Yeah.
Well, we all get yoinked at once.
Owl bear bells.
Pretty sure if it was an owl bear, there would be sounds.
Yeah.
What do we know about
If I get-
owl bears?
If I get
Yeah.
taken by the monster, you guys kill Ada. I think she's
That nature.
Yeah, owlbears are nature.
You haven't come to meet up with me yet, though, so you don't know there's owlbears there.
I rolled
Yeah,
a
but
27.
Well, if everyone's
We'll
getting
get here
together
then.
to go,
Yeah,
are you
we're
going to
leaving.
mention them?
Hmm.
Like that's what you would find out.
Well, I think the hunter guy would know that there is owl bears in the area,
That's fair.
and they probably would know if it was an owl bear, because they'd be alert to owl bears. And so this is not something they're familiar with, so
Mhm.
I'm guessing this is something more supernatural,
Mm-hmm.
maybe arcane, maybe religious.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps we are better equipped to figure out what it is
What'd you get?
and take care
Oh,
of
you
it.
got a lot.
Oh yeah.
So owlbears. Owlbears aren't from this realm. They come from the Feywild.
Well, that would explain why I know about them.
But they made their way to this world many
Days ago.
worlds ag- or
Just say aeons. And move on.
aeons ago. They typically live in forests, possibly some shallow caves, possibly little small hunting lodges.
He's foreshadowing.
Sometimes
No,
they have
that's
ice hammers.
When you guys first met owlbears in the last campaign, it was
Oh,
an
no, it
old
wasn't
tiny
an ice
hunting
hammer.
lodge.
Different hammer.
They can be active during the day or night, depending on the habits of their prey. but they do tend to live in mated pairs.
And they're not usually stealthy, are they?
Not generally, no. Yeah, you have heard of people using owlbears and using them as like because you've got a pretty good check here.
I want an owlbear.
Like,
That's awesome.
Not pets, but
Yeah,
birds
mounts.
for areas.
On
You
Donner,
put
on
an owlbear there, and not a lot of things are just going to go right through an owlbear.
But again, not stealthy usually.
No, not generally.
They fall under the category of big motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. They are quite large. The size of a bear with a head of an owl.
Not stealthy. Okay, can we go now?
You guys know about owlbears? Do they fly?
No.
They do not.
That's weird.
It's literally just head of owl,
It's a bear
body
with
of
the head
bear.
of an owl.
I think they're real neat.
They are.
Not
They're
size-wise, just looks-wise.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's just clarify
What's
that.
over here?
Oh, imagine if they were tiny. Oh, that'd be awesome.
That's the western gate.
Gate. But don't we want to be on the other side of the river when
Yeah.
we go down?
Yeah, you want to go out the eastern gate?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta say hi to that Trixie. What's her name?
Oh yeah.
Traxel.
Tracks.
Traxie.
Traxel.
Trax.
Key nicknames everybody remember.
It's
Yes.
a cross between a tractor and an axle. A trax.
So you guys leave Bastion. Just like that, nice and easy.
Everybody's healed up, their surges are back.
Was
Yeah.
anyone specifically wanting to buy anything before leaving?
I did.
Yes,
I got a...
you bought some daggers,
No, I bought throwing knives.
throwing knives, which are basically daggers.
Maybe an extra rope.
Yeah, you could find that at the Fawns.
What, you didn't get your rope back from the other place?
No,
More
I did.
holy waters.
I just want more rope. I have a feeling I might need some.
Yeah,
Actually,
you-
does the hunter's kit have rope? It probably does.
it does not.
Your adventurer's kit does, but
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
used it.
I'll get an extra rope.
Do we want to get
That's-
some holy waters to drink on the way?
So I still got two of them.
Okay.
You guys were very conservative with those.
Well, you don't just go
He throws in a rope for you.
drinking them all up at once.
An
Sorry,
extra-
can you hear you, Tony?
He throws in an extra 20 feet of rope for you.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
It's because you're so nice.
Yeah.
for a giant horn guy. How'd you get diplomacy?
I've met lots of people on the road. Yeah,
Wait, question. From Griffith the Baron.
A hunting we will
What are
go,
you again?
a hunting we
He's a
will go.
tiefling.
Mhm.
No, I know that, but like, what is he again? Like, class-wise?
He doesn't fling
Like,
teeth.
what did you do again?
Oh, I fight things.
An Arden or something? Or Argent?
He has a big
Oh.
spear. He stabs things. And if he doesn't stab them, he tells you to stab them.
Yeah.
Got it.
He's
That was
also,
question
as Meardin has pointed out, he has similar abilities to what
does.
Meardin is capable of.
Only less refined.
Well, more martial than Meardin.
Yeah.
A little more grisly.
Okay, that was the first thing I want to say.
Awesome.
Second thing, if I get snatched and you guys all make it out alive, can you guys tell Ada
Wow,
that I
that
can
person's traveling fast.
Yeah, we're not gonna have everybody on the map.
I'm walking backwards.
Alright. So traveling. We haven't really done this in a while. The traveling through unknown territory, really, for you guys. And from
Fast.
what you've heard from the hunters is that there aren't really any big known trails out this way. They like to try to keep this area of the world wild as much as they can. They've told you a couple like kind of specific things to look for when you get closer to the hunting cabin.
Yeah, trees.
Yeah, specific trees, things like that.
There's
And-
a crook in this one. a rock beside this
and
one.
hopefully you guys
The
will
one that grunts
remember
wishes.
that information when you get closer to it. It is approximately a 2-day journey to get there.
At what speed?
Normal speed. So there's the 3 different speeds that we can do. There's the hold on a second. There's the like slower movement, getting out, getting through things a little bit slower, but being able to get your make your perception checks easier. Things are harder to enemies and things like that, or wandering monsters have a harder time of getting to you, but medium pace is everything is normal, and while a faster pace, you take negatives on your perception checks, and monsters and things
Ow.
will have an advantage to find you in the wild.
Oh shit. Oh.
So, you guys argue for a moment on what you want to do. I will be right back. You want anything else, Chelsea?
Griffin.
Yes?
What? Oh,
What?
Oh, there we go.
What the heck? What's up?
What up?
All right,
Dog?
everyone good now?
If only my father could see me how I talk to girls. I'm pretty sure I get the sound.
What?
I'm there.
Where am I at right
Yep.
now?
Don't.
Oh, because I haven't turned you down. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Where's my beholder?
There you
Okay.
go. So, what do you guys want to? How fast do you want to go here?
Pace.
Or
I'd say a medium pace is definitely adequate.
Medium
I
pace
think
to
it
start as we get closer to where we're going, go slow.
yeah.
Yeah.
would- Agreed.
all right.
Yeah, it's probably going to be at least a day before we're even close anyways.
No,
Since
it's
it's a
about a
2-day
full
journey,
2
I'm
days.
thinking, yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it means for a normal pace before we have
Yeah.
to worry about slowing down.
Okay, I got you.
Once we start seeing some of the landmarks they told us, we'll slow down.
All right.
Okay.
So, can I get everyone to? How did we do this before? Did I get everyone to roll stuff for
Yeah, I
Growl
think
at the
so.
tree. Grrr.
perception checks for everyone? Perception or nature?
Perception and nature.
No, he's
Or nature.
Or
It'll be perception for me.
Might as well be the same.
Well, doesn't really matter for me.
Well,
So
shit.
if everybody's going perception, I'll go
I
nature.
rolled a 1.
Well, you guys.
Not roll well. I rolled a 1, so it wouldn't
I'm
matter
very
anyway.
unnatural.
I'm not rolling well tonight.
Wouldn't it be your passive perceptions?
No.
We are actively looking. Not well, apparently.
Not higher than a 9.
I was looking at natural science.
I see this.
Not well.
I'm just writing down a.
What is the low DC at this level? 13?
No, it's 9.
Oh, so still met
Yeah,
the low.
the
but-
low DC is 9 at level 2. 13 is medium. So you got
I'm good.
10, 9, 14, 12, 10. I'm missing one.
Griffith.
Griff, yeah.
Oh.
He wasn't in the game there for a second.
Oh, okay. Griff?
I think my internet's starting to kick the bucket.
Mm,
Griff.
can you roll me a perception or nature?
Can you hear him?
Which one's
Yeah,
higher?
I can't hear him.
I can hear
Yeah.
him.
What?
I can hear him.
Perception or
Come
nature,
on.
did you say?
Perception or nature?
Alright, both are shit. Perception.
I can't hear Griffin at all.
Hooray!
You can't hear him at all, eh? Well,
You rolled a
try
12.
reconnecting.
I did.
Be good, children.
Oh, just shush.
I'm waiting for my internet to implode.
Kaboom!
Alright.
Are there piranhas in the river?
Oh, we
Please
should
tell me
probably
there's
we
piranhas
should
in the
hurry
river.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
they
should.
are.
Seriously.
You You asked. You told me to tell you there was. So I told you there was.
Somebody push Meardin into the river.
We didn't say anything.
You do realize that I can throw you into the river with my psychic powers too, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I can.
Ooh, who's going swimming?
I can't swim. Don't throw me.
Alright, so you guys leave Bastion, setting yourselves out to a normal pace. Try to get yourselves established down there. You're making some progress. As you're going down southwest, are you guys trying to go anywhere specific along the way, or are you just trying to get there to the cabin?
If we want to research that grove, I would recommend doing it on the way back rather than there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking we should avoid it.
We should probably stay.
Although
Do
I would
one
like to-
encounter and then see how we're doing. 'Cause
Okay.
if we're beat
So
up, then we can just.
Are you
head
guys
back
trying to
straight.
follow the river as best as you can,
Yep.
or are you
Yeah.
okay?
Near the river. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're near the river.
Along the river.
Following the river for the first
This
little
way.
bit is pretty easy. You make quite a bit of headway. Thank you. You can remove that now. And as you head down, after probably a few hours, Bastion's now out of sight. It's starting to get a little hilly over in this area. The forest is starting to get, a little bit thicker. Traveling right along the river gets harder to do as there's not really, not always a bank there that you can travel along. So every once in a while you have to cut through the forest and through the trees and bush before you can. Sometimes you'll lose sight of the river, but
Is it a big river?
it's a fairly
Is it
large-
loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally, when you have to go around things, you are still within earshot of the river and being able to hear it.
Kitty.
And that starts to happen more so around. It's probably about a couple hours after you've woken up in the morning. So probably around noon is when you've really made it into that area where it starts to make it a bit of an issue for you traveling, trying to stay on the river.
As long as we can hear it.
Along your way, around mid-afternoon is when something catches. Who had the highest roll there?
Meardin.
Meardin.
Oh, we rolled a horrid.
We
We're in
did
trouble
roll
when I
horrid.
did this roll, aren't we?
We're great.
Something catches Meardin's eye.
Oh, and what would that be?
I didn't even know he threw it.
We'll see what it is.
He notices not by the river at all, but as you guys are kind of going around the bend and having to be a little bit away from it, he notices quite a large tree kind of off in the distance, a little bit probably travel way to it. It looks a little bit almost out of ordinary for this, like it's probably at least twice the size of any other tree in general here.
Big
Out of
tree.
curiosity, is it too
Well, then,
far out of our way to kind of cause a problem, or?
It would probably add on from where you are an hour to 2 hours, so it might push it into a 3-day trek to get there, depending.
I'll point it out to the rest of the group at the very least and kind of mention, that seems out of place to me. Is it natural for trees to grow that much? Because I'm not familiar with that.
Kitty.
That's interesting.
Oh.
Trying to make out what's different about it.
How do you have such crappy rolls and then such great rolls?
I don't know.
Really cares about trees.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a very nature-y.
Yeah.
This very insignificant piece of thing that I'm trying to give you. Here you go, crit it. Generally, no, you know that trees like that aren't very common, and as you pointed out to Varen, he notices that it's got almost like a large pine tree, but much bushier than anything else as well. Like it has a lot more, like the needles into it are like it's very full.
Did the guy at the Quiet Lamb not mention it
Quiet
as a
Lamb?
landmark?
No. Yeah, you guys are probably only 4-ish hours away from Bastion. Partway through the first day.
Well, we should definitely check this out right now.
I'm kind of inclined to agree. I'm rather curious now.
That's not the Grove, is it?
No. The Grove is probably a day and a half straight south of Bastion. You guys are more towards the river. I can't really put your token exactly where it is because it snaps.
Yeah, snapping.
Yeah, so you guys are probably right around. Well, that didn't help either.
We
Like
could just
around
draw a little
here.
X or something.
Yeah, you guys are probably around here.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're barely out of Bastion even.
Well, you're a hex away. It's quite a. You have to remember,
Barely.
traveling along the King's Road is much faster because there's an established trail. You're not going through anything. Threats are low here. You're always being a little bit more cautious. There's no trail to follow. So on top of that, it's quite a big gap to go.
It's probably not as level either.
You just have to lift it all the way up. Okay. Hold on. Yeah.
At least it's not raining.
No, it does that.
I'm good to check it out.
Sucks.
Let's check it out.
Did you?
Who knows? Maybe this mystery creature is that way too.
Well,
the big
hopefully
tree?
it hasn't come this close to Bastion yet.
It's the Grove.
No, it's not.
It's
It's not anywhere near the Grove.
Where is it?
So where you guys are about, it's about here, about an hour away. Out of your, yeah.
We can get it on the way back.
See, that's not the general consensus.
Oh god.
Yeah.
You're on our time now.
the one.
What does Tazarea care about the general consensus?
Pretty fucking much.
She's like, we're going this way. I'm going this way. Goodbye. Jeez, creep.
We could spend an hour arguing about it, or just go walk there.
Why do we want to go see this tree exactly?
It's large. It's out of place.
Weird.
Don't really know what it is. Looks like a big pine tree that's very full, especially comparatively to anything else in the region.
Maybe it's
And
got dead
everything else
creatures
around
in it
it.
that we can save.
I'm going on the condition that somebody else gets to climb the goddamn thing.
Ooh.
I'll catch you
Yeah.
if you fall.
Not the dwarf.
Yeah, right.
Alright, so you guys can go check this thing out?
Sure.
Alright.
I guess no tree's gonna disappear before we come back, I guess.
Good. So add this time to your to your traveling.
Who was arguing this?
It's just
Everyone.
like a general consensus that, hey, let's go check it out.
It's not that far out of the way.
One time they all agree.
Yeah. You know what else wasn't that far out of the way? The manor.
We went back. After.
Just reminding people here that, you know.
Well, we went up to the manor and
We
didn't
did
like
not
it.
go
Went
up to
away.
the manor.
in
We
the-
got into the aura.
Yeah, we did try to actually explore the manor when we
I
first
know.
discovered it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You can go
As-
get me a beer now.
No, I'm good now. I gotta explain this. As you guys are starting to get closer to this tree, can I get everyone to roll me
Yeah.
some perception checks?
We're all starting to not feel very well. It's starting to rain. Damn it.
Yeah, I should mention
Perception?
out here. Yeah, perception. The weather here isn't too bad. Comparatively, it's just overcast, a little cold, but
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Passable at least.
close it, open it again. Jesus. Roll 20's having issues. At least for Chelsea.
Why
Should
does it
just use
let me?
tabletop. It was working fine.
Yeah, we can, but then I'd have to redo everything over there. that'd be a
And
pain
then
in the
Griffin
butt.
would have to get it. I was kidding.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And Rob.
But Rob should get it, and so should Megan, and then we can play board games together online.
Yeah.
True.
We played Clue, but the D&D version, I didn't know that was such a thing.
Yeah.
There's a
like-
D&D version of everything.
There
There's
is.
D&D Monopoly, for God's sakes.
For God's sakes, we can't roll.
Well, Jim can on useless information.
Hale got a pretty good roll there.
I think Griffin's gone again.
Looking around the best.
I got number 2.
Alright.
I'm not talking about poop.
Yes, we know. As you guys start to approach this area, Hale hears the sounds of cawing.
Cawing?
Yes,
Is that a bird?
Like a crow?
sounds like a bird. Yeah.
But is it a bird? Or is it somebody
Is it a-
imitating a bird?
Is
Sounds
it
like a bird.
plane?
That's as well as I can.
Yeah. well,
Coming from overhead.
You can roll a
flying over
nature
us?
check to see if you think it's a bird.
Does it sound like an owl bear?
I have no idea.
Caw, caw.
I don't know what owl bears sound like.
Not like that.
Whoo, whoo.
You want to roll a nature check?
Who's the bitch? Who's the bitch?
Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum,
A what
ba-dum,
check?
ba-dum.
Nature.
Unnatural. Hey.
It almost sounds like, to you, like hawks.
Hawks don't
Okay.
caw.
Well, I don't know what they sound
They
like.
scree.
Okay, you hear scream. It sounds like hawks.
I hear hawks.
Are they good eating, or I'm not familiar with how this information helps us.
I have no idea.
Okay,
I'm not familiar with
Good
how
to
you
know.
help us.
I'll keep an eye out
Hooray.
for. I'll keep
Do
an
I
eye out for
see
hawks.
anything?
Are you guys
Nope, could only hear them.
still approaching, or
I suppose so.
I
I see no
Once
reason
I'll let
to-
somebody else go first.
if there's a lot of them, it might matter.
I suppose that's fair.
oh, Griff? Can he not?
Can I hear us, maybe?
They're screaming. Oh, did he not roll a perception check?
Oh, no, he did.
He did.
Griffin. Oh, Griffin. Well then, reset your thingamajigger. I had to X out and go back in.
I've done that a couple times.
Griff can't hear the cawing.
Perception was too low.
Alright. While he does that, I'm just gonna take a
We're
quick bathroom.
full of quips tonight.
Of course.
I got waffles in the morning. I'm excited.
Mhm. And bacon and sausage.
That too.
Waffles.
I am.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
I'm just gonna grab a drink quickly.
Okay.
Probably won't be going on for too much longer either.
Oh.
What?
Well, it's 10 already.
What?
God damn it, Rob, and your hobbies.
I know. Too many. Too many. Hey, I just got a sewing machine. I gotta learn that too.
What?
Yeah, just the other day.
Cool.
Did you
You
rip
can
a
have
hem?
my pants.
Did I what?
Did you rip a hem?
I've been collecting all kinds of stuff and that I've ripped, and I fixed like so much of it today. This thing's so much faster than doing it by hand.
Yes, that is true.
It's amazing.
I knew several people that stuck the needle through their finger.
Oh yeah, I could see that happening. The thing
Same needle.
goes like crazy.
Yeah, you just have to pay attention though, so I don't see why it's really that difficult.
Yeah. I'll pay attention.
I made a pair of pajama pants once. They had a dog pattern on them. The dogs were going up one leg and down the other. Don't know how I managed that.
Cool. You can't buy them like that in the store.
Oh, you sure can't!
Well, you can, just not at good stores.
You know what? That could be a gimmick. They'd sell that on purpose.
Go to Value Village, I'm sure you could find a pair like that.
He can hear, he says.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, he can hear,
Yeah.
but
But we
That's
can't
okay.
hear him.
He doesn't have to talk if it's gonna mess around with his audio and stuff. He can type.
Okay.
Just do that. So we're just waiting on Kyle.
Yep,
Get back.
I'm here.
You're back. All right.
Jim went to get a drink.
Did you just choke on air?
What?
Tony's choking on his air.
Oh.
Just give him a minute.
I'm okay,
Okay.
now.
Yeah. Air.
All right. Jim, you're back.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So the information that you hear is from Hale is that he hears hawks.
There's birds in the tree.
What are you guys doing with that information?
I said somebody else can go first.
are hawks dangerous?
If there's enough of them.
I mean, anything's dangerous
Depending
in
on
large
the
numbers.
size of them.
Can we
What
see
other
them?
creatures do we know of that sound like hawks?
I don't know.
Hawks.
Let's just go find out.
Don't know.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, there it is. There's my
check,
nature
yeah.
check. There it is. It took a long time to pop
yeah,
up.
it's doing that.
Away.
There's a bunch of different varieties of hawks and things like that. Things that sound like hawks.
There's bear hawks.
No, there's
Oh.
not. Could be things like eagles, any bigger, like larger style of birds of that nature.
Chupacabras.
Let's keep on going.
I'm quite happy to, but I'm going to keep an eye skyward just out of pure inane.
Are you approaching the tree?
Charge.
Why would you charge a tree?
Cause.
It's not. The only one is a simple yes or no.
We are still walking.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm
all
still
right.
going.
Okay.
We still walk.
I just said I wasn't first this time.
All right. As you start getting closer and closer towards this tree, the screen becomes more
It's not a
noticeable
caw.
to everyone, and as if what's the word I was gonna just say, with like the drop of a hat, the entire tree bursts to life.
Whoa.
As in the tree starts walking,
No.
or there's wildlife in the
Just
tree.
moving.
Lots of birds in it.
I step behind cover.
As the kind, or the I'm going to keep saying kind, the screen becomes almost unbearable as a swarm of hawks fly out from the tree towards you.
Run?
I can't forceful push them all, but can I use
How about you leave the wildlife alone?
It's a skill challenge for you.
Oh, God.
I called it get the F out of here.
Run.
down?
Dungeoneering.
It's pretty straightforward. 6 successes before 3 failures.
Great, we did so well the last time. Our rolls have been just so good.
On each failure, the group will lose a healing surge.
Okay.
Let's go look at the tree before we go find the fucking mysterious thing that's killing everybody.
I'm gonna try to immediately impede their progress as much as possible towards us by throwing up a psychic barrier.
Okay. Yeah. So if everyone remembers how skill challenges work, you get one thing to do per round until you make either 6 successes or 3 failures. And you can pretty well use any ability you want as long as you have something that makes sense for using that ability.
I hide and move through the shadows of the trees.
So if everyone can kind of say what they...
I critted it. That should count for 2. Because it'll never happen again.
Although a 1 would count as
Griff is
2
gone.
failures then, Chelsea? I don't know if we want to instigate that rule.
Whatever, I just left you guys. I left stealthily.
I'm trying to help. I'm blocking as much of them as I can.
I thought this was a stupid idea. I left.
Yeah,
Also, I was going to the manor. We still went with you on that shit.
So everyone will need to...
It's like, can you guys stop arguing and run?
I already left. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, good. They're hiding. I'm trying to
What's
save them.
happening?
Oh, hey, Griff.
I don't know what's happening, but I'm hiding.
We're being attacked by hawks.
I can't hear
Okay,
you.
so I'm hiding.
Oh, you can't hear him.
No.
He's
And I'm not trying again because
No,
that
no.
screwed me up last time.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'll just tell you what Griff says. He
Uh-oh.
says,
Oh,
I'm
God.
hiding.
I tried to throw up a wall of fire with my sword, but it just kind of
You
fizzled.
just threw up, yeah.
That's a lot of birds.
Maybe I'll make myself really disgusting and then they won't attack me.
They didn't care.
Alright, so as Meardin is kind of like sees it as the tree just kind of bursts into life as the hawks just start coming, he throws up his hands and puts up a barrier just to, as the first few hit into it and just stop, but there's so many of them that it just kind of overwhelms it, but it buys you a little bit of time as Tazrea just, you see...
You don't see her.
You don't see her, but with this failure, something happens to you.
Why me?
Because we lose a
it's
healing
improved
surge.
healing.
I goddamn critted it.
And he failed it. What's your point?
God damn it, Rob.
If you want to talk about that, then we'll talk about that.
Considering it takes 3 failures, I'm okay with them only counting as 1 each.
Especially since Jim hasn't rolled yet.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna
Jesus
think of that.
Christ.
As Tazrea, you just barely see her as she just disappears into the shadow, but just the amount of hawks coming in, same thing with Griffith, he just kind of breaks off to get into his, like, behind some cover, but there's just, Hale goes up to try to throw up a wall of flame.
You flashbanged us, didn't you?
But just disorients everyone. And letting that happen, just hawks have come in and, you know, you're taking a scrape here and a scrape there, and everyone will lose a healing surge. Not Griffith, Varen and
I don't
Ramsey.
think this is how you did it last time.
Yeah, it is.
No, after we had failed 3 times, stuff had happened, but not just one
I've
fail.
always done it on certain failures. Oh, it gets worse if the more failures you get.
Oh, great.
Away.
There's one surge?
Yeah, 1 surge.
Why don't we just take damage?
Because then you guys just heal and lose a surge anyways.
Yeah, but it would make more sense. You're scratching us.
And pecking and
So
biting.
we would
and
lose
clawing
health, not
and-
surges.
And you're also, running and getting exhausted. Your general everything of the day. Right? Health of the
Sense
day.
to me.
Alright. Varen or Ramsey?
I'll basically just briefly stop my tracks, spin, and just in a rage, intimidate, try to do Ardent Outrage,
Are you
where
growling
I basically
at them?
ignite one of the hawks.
Don't hurt the hawks!
in the middle, basically try to aim for the middle and try to hit a whole bunch of them.
We started it!
Oh!
We did not start anything. We were traveling.
Cheapers.
I am never bringing you again! Either of you!
And that's his good one, too.
Can you still pass
Because
even with
he
that?
rolled a 1 with No, he didn't. But
Christ's sakes.
So, is that a pass?
no, it's not. It's not a pass.
Oh.
I'm
I
looking
guess I
for
don't plant my feet very
generally
well. and I
around
have
the
slip.
13 range, depending on what you do, because, you know, it has to make sense and some things are a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, that's not even what the actual DC would be anyways.
You ignited the tree beside us on fire, didn't you?
Yeah, maybe.
You ignited the tree right next to Tazrea on fire, and she takes some fire damage from that.
Sure as hell don't.
Everyone loses another healing surge.
Oh dear. By the way,
Ramsey?
I don't really have any more good skill checks for this kind of a situation, so we're in trouble.
No, I got this. Boo, shoo. Diplomacy.
Diplomacy probably will not work on the hawks.
Birds. What
Wow.
the hell?
God, that might.
Son of a bitch!
That definitely would have deafened some of them. Jesus.
Yeah.
So what are you doing, Ramsey?
I'm going still.
Oh, Ramsey hasn't gone yet, though.
I don't care,
Haven't
I'm
gone
still
yet.
running away. He's taking too long.
Okay,
Well, I need to know what he does first.
I'll
Your check might not even matter.
do an Arcana check. I'll, let out like a kind of a magical scream that kind of sort of works against natural creatures, maybe,
Arcana has worked so well
that
so
they won't
far.
like, maybe. Hey!
Alright. So you kind of like, almost like a, I don't know what you would want to call that, like a stun bomb, almost.
Yeah, a fuse rode up.
Yeah. As just this blast of just this high-pitched noise hits into the air around you.
Kind of disorients them.
Yeah, it disorients them a bit and buys you that extra seconds that you need. Tezrea, what were you doing?
I'm navigating the forest.
Navigating throughout the forest, trying to get your way out of there as fast as you can without, being able to run as fast as you can while still not falling or going through the underbrush a bit, so hawks have a harder time to get at you.
Hawks can't dive bomb through trees, just saying.
You said these are hawks. I need someone else to go.
God, please, somebody tell me they have a 12 and something.
Yeah, totally.
Eights.
I recite history to them.
So, someone go and pick a skill, because this is ride or die here.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm trying to see if I can find a good place to hide using my perception.
Good Christ.
That was a 7, by the way.
What do you need?
He's fine.
Oh, for God's
He
sake.
needs 13.
I'd be right on the cusp.
I'm not wasting my rolls yet.
And with that, athletics would be that, Griff.
Yeah.
Don't do anything.
But you don't need to. That's enough
We're done.
successes.
Don't do it.
Uh,
Do it.
they buggered
I
off.
was gonna say Griff would
Just
be fine with
26.
athletics anyways.
Over there, guys! Quick!
As Meardin points out a quick way that he thinks it would be easy enough for people to
Jesus
get through
Christ!
that the hawks
What
would have
the
a
hell
harder
is
time.
that?
As
I added a 200 to the miscellaneous.
as you guys are able to escape the hawks.
All right, that could
Hooray.
have gone better.
I hate you all.
Who peed in their
That was not
cereal?
worthwhile.
This
It's like
this
the
makes
last time. It's don't go near it.
this makes up for me having to go get the cleansing ritual.
Yeah. You need a cleansing rule ritual for your underpants now.
No, I'm good. I
Well,
think.
that was a waste.
Well, okay. Well,
Is
that
everyone
was.
okay?
I'll live. That was definitely not normal.
And with that, you've added a little bit of extra time to your day.
I guess so.
Didn't take us an hour to get back, though. We ran.
Yeah, I'm not saying, but I'm also not saying, you ran in the right direction.
I did.
We ran into the grove. God damn it.
So trying to gather your way back towards to the river. On top of that encounter, trying to get your way back to how you got there, takes you a little bit of extra time, and you've taken up a couple hours of your day, and it's now starting to get towards the early evening of the day. But with that, you guys continue on.
Woohoo!
Well, we lived.
Yay.
Continuing along, once you get back towards the river, and are able to hear it again, kind of gives you a little bit of relief. You're definitely not that far away. I'll move you as you guys go. That's fine. You can stop moving tokens. You guys can go, making your time, trying to make up a little bit of your time, but it's a slow process out here, especially in this wilderness, and soon evening hits. And you're looking for a place to camp. As the kind of rest of the day goes by a little less uneventful.
Thankfully.
Mm-hmm. Is this still lightly raining or barely raining?
It's not raining, it's just overcast.
Okay.
So finding a place to camp, we'll bring you guys back to this one here. You guys' camp screen. Why is that? Oh, you guys don't have tokens on this one, do you?
Nope.
Fire.
Yeah. 1 second here. That didn't work. Hail's worked. How come Meardin's didn't? Oh, there it is. Alright.
I like to be difficult. What can I say?
Let's say. Alright. So camping for the night. You guys are able to kind of find a little ways off place that you can stay for the night. So everyone will have to again kind of choose what they want to do for camping. So again, in this stage, there's setup and / cooking. So for each person that goes there, maximum of 2 people kind of take the first bit of the time setting up camp, cooking some meals, making it kind of a little bit more as homely as you can for it, and you would regain an additional healing surge when resting for the night. Concealing the camp would spend your time before you have to rest, trying to keep the camp as concealed and stealthy from anything that could wander into it. Again, a max of 2 people there. Hunting, foraging, requires, in that same time as people are setting up or concealing the camp, etc., to go out and try to hunt for some rations so you guys don't have to use any of your own. Watch is... yeah, so just put yourself in that area that you want to do. Watch is specifically... you're spending your rest time at the start while everyone else is doing their thing, and then you're staying up for the night. And then you have your personal choice ones, which some people have done, but not everyone. And those can be, again, like your own specific things. Like Tazraea's was to set up snare traps and noise traps and stuff around camp. I think Meardin's was researching to gain extra bonus to nature or history checks.
Yeah, I think we set a +2 to the first history and nature check made the next day.
Yeah. Along that line. I think actually Varen might have had one with your armor or your weapon.
I think that might have been
Maintenance or something like that, right?
Yeah.
might have been me augmenting armor or weapons.
Mine might have been weapon, but yeah, I don't remember. That was...
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to think of something that you want to do for that, I do suggest at least one person goes on watch at all the time.
Does my passive perception still take effect while meditating? I was aware.
You are aware.
Game's going cuckoo.
Your passives
Is
still
it?
count.
Yeah, I can't pull my guy down
I don't
without
necessarily need to take
Oh,
scrolling
click. Click. There's a
Everyone else does.
there's a +- thing in the upper right corner. Click on the minus so you can zoom out a bit.
Well, it's not about that. It's like when I grab my guy and move it, it scrolls up and down the map.
No, well, I don't know how to help you with that.
So I will slowly do that.
Shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so who's on watch?
I'm on watch
Ramsey's on watch.
with my arcane
Griffith
eye.
was going to conceal. Tezra, you want to?
I don't know. I was just waiting to see what other people did.
Did your token?
I was gonna
No, it's up there.
set up camp and try to get some surges back.
Those are extra surges, because generally when you sleep at night, you get half back
Okay.
in a while.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
or half of your maximum back. So
Yeah.
in this case, it probably wouldn't matter.
Is there seriously only one person on watch?
Well, no, I got my arcane eye too.
And Tazraea. Alright. That's fine.
Yeah. Just a question.
Mhm.
Where's Griffin?
He's hiding.
He's I think his token's just up here. Yeah. There you go. I'm looking down for you. Is that better?
No.
Okay. Alright. So we'll end the session here then. It's around that 10:30 time. Yeah. Good job, everyone.
Yeah.
Hooray! Victory!
No one died to Hawks, which I'm very sad about.
That's good.
You're so nice.
I tried.
We tried going back to the tree.
Hey, they're still there.
Do you want us to roll our checks, or let's save that for later?
If you have rolled, awesome. It keeps them. So,
Big fish.
I wrote
or you can
3.
roll when we come back.
I'll just do a history now.
Yeah. You want to roll a perception check?
I think that's a success.
Mostly.
Away.
Why did you roll a streetwise?
Because I clicked.
Oh, you clicked wrong. Okay. All right. Good, because that helps me try and get set up for the next session too. Speaking of
The
next
question
session,
is, running away from the birds, was that enough speed for us to level up? Probably not.
I doubt it.
maybe if you stayed and beat on all the birds.
I wanted to. I may not
Stand
be
your
able to do
ground.
that.
Didn't seem like an option.
Yeah, they looked really pissed off.
They did. So we've been trying to do every 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the next one would be the 23rd, if
Yeah.
that works for people.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yep. I think so.
This upcoming weekend is the long weekend. So maybe we can.
Because that matters so much to most
He's thinking of
It,
board
it
games.
helps to some people. Yeah. I was thinking about doing. It doesn't even have to be during the night or anything.
Yeah.
To do some board games or something.
More
on
Clue?
Tabletop Simulator.
Or Clue. Yeah.
Yeah. Clue, but we actually write down our own stuff on
Yeah,
paper.
you better.
It worked for me.
It did, because I got lost on that.
I didn't write
doing
anything
our
down,
deck.
and I ended up with the right answers.
Yeah.
Hooray!
But no. Yeah. That's really it.
Groovy.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah, good work, everyone.
Yay.
Yay.
I like this schedule because it means I have something every weekend I can do. So every other weekend I play D&D with you guys,
Mhm.
and the other weekends I get to put up my recycling.
Oh, are we opposite the recycling?
Yeah.
That human contact he needs every week.
Yeah.
Well,
There you go.
you live an exciting life.
You have no idea.
Oh, that's awesome. It's good that we can keep that schedule on there for you.
Yeah,
Make
man.
sure that you get your recycling out there.
So next weekend won't work. You'll be busy doing recycling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't play games then.
No.
Too bad.
No games.
Sorry.
How much
I don't
recycling do
sort
you
it.
have?
I just throw it in the container.
I don't know, but Rob's helping them out.
Mhm.
Oh, good. Thanks, Rob.
Okay, we're going to bed now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go put my daughter to bed.